בדרכים, שמור עלינו מתאונות, שמור עלינו מכל פגע רע, הצילנו מיד רשע, שמור אתה אדוני אלוהינו, וכבודך איתנו. ברוך אתה, אדוני אלוהינו, מלך העולם. Amen. Well, my dear friends, we are now going to Mount Tabor. Mount Tabor, the word Tabor, it means belly bottom, which means that was the belly bottom of the kingdom. That mountain was very important for many reasons. But in the time that Deborah, she was our prophet and the judge, she was the wife of a man called Lapidot, she used to sit on that mount and judging the nation. And one day she got a message that the Canaanite leading by an army leader called Sisera, they are on the way to attack the Israelites. So she sent a message to a man that his name was Barrack, that his father's name was Abinoam, and she commanded him to come to talk to her, and she gave him instruction about the war that's going to be. And she said to him, go and bring your people from Zebulun and from Naphtali, bring them over here and go to the war against Israel. Barrack said to her, well, I will go against them in one condition, that you promise to come with me. She said unto him, it's not very proper that me as a woman going to be with you, because you are the one, that you are the general, and you should have all the honor. Said, no, I want you to come with me. So she said to him, well, even if I come with you, still you have to remember that the Lord God of Israel going to kill his enemy by a hand of a woman. Barrack went down to the valley, and he asked half of his people to hide himself in the swamps on the valley, and the other half, he said to them, I want you to run in panic and to throw your weapon to make the Canaanite to think that you're getting scared and you're running away from your life, and you're going to run the direction where the others are making an ambush. That's what his people did, and the 10,000 warriors of Sisera were simply running after the Israelites inside of the swamp. Over there, the Canaanite army was stuck on the swamp with their big horses and big chariots. When they tried to get out of the mud, the Israelites would make an ambush, jump on them, and slow them all. When Sisera saw that he's losing the war, he started to run to save his life. As he's running, he passed by a tent that belonged to a woman called Yael, the wife of Heber. And at that time it was peace between the Heber family and the Canaanite family, so he feels safe. So he came close, and then she came out of the tent and she said to him, come to my tent, come to me. So he came to her and she said to him, I hide you in my tent until the enemies of you going to look for you in another place. So he said to her, so please woman, give me water to drink, I'm thirsty. So she gave him hot milk to drink. And then she covered him with the blankets. And he said to her, please stay there by the tent, and if you see my enemies coming, wake me up. When he was under the blanket, she was singing to him a nice song and telling him nice quiet stories, and he fell asleep. When he fell asleep, she went and she brought a big nail that he usually used to tie a tent, and she held a huge big hammer on her hand. She stood above him, and in one punch she nailed him from his head to the ground. When Barrack arrived after a few hours looking for his enemy, Deborah, Yael, she took him inside the tent and she showed him his enemy Sisera nailing to the floor and dying on the floor. Barrack remembered that Deborah, she said to him just a few days before that the Lord God of Israel going to give his enemy by the hand of a woman. We can see already Mount Tabor to the right inside, just behind the eucalyptus trees that we see over here. You see the high mount over there? This high mount began to be also very important in the Christian life. And in the book of Mathiew, in chapter 17, from verse 1, all the way to verse 13. It's the story of Jesus coming to the high mount after 6 days, being with his people in Mount probably Hermon. He came over here, and his people came with him high to the high mount. And for a few days they didn't saw Jesus, and all of a sudden he came back. His face was shiny with a white collar, and all of a sudden a dove came and landed on his shoulder, and a voice from heaven said, "This is my son, this is my beloved son with whom I'm pleased." And then the people saw him standing and talking with Moses and Elisha. Of course I got really scared, because that kind of a picture was very weird. And they all fall down and crying and yelling and screaming to God to save them. And then Jesus spoke to them and said, "Go down to the people and don't tell anyone what you saw." But the people said to him, "Lord, let us to build you 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elisha." And after doing all that, they went down to the people waiting for Jesus to come to them. You see the beautiful church on the top, take a look on the right side. And that church, it's a Franciscan church, Catholic church, that have 3 chapels inside. One named after Moses, one named after Jesus, and the middle one named, the middle one named after Jesus, and the both sides, one for Moses and one for Elisha. So in a few minutes we're going to be in a footstep of that mount. We cannot go with the bus up there. So we're going to leave the bus, and we're going to take a shuttles of small cars, that in each car I think I can put 7 or 8 people, I don't remember, and I will send you all to the top. In the top we're going to visit the church, and we visit around. Then I take you to the roof of the building to see the view of the valleys all around. I bring the Bible with me, so we do the reading somewhere over there, maybe inside the church, we see. And then we take the taxis back, driving back to the bus, and then we're going to continue from here straight to Cana.